Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm your usual host, Joe Scott. I'm joined here by Tony Tanzanati. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's
I
good to hear.
mean, you would hope so after E3, but
Anyway,
I felt like no. Okay, I feel like I don't know. Are we announcing anything at the start, or are we going
no,
straight
I think
into
we're pretty much just
conferences?
going to go straight into conferences.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff at E3 this year.
Basically, as I said last week, the entire show will pretty much just be watching trailers.
Yeah, and discussing it, and yeah,
And basically, what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to pick my most hyped trailers, and I'm going to do a
yeah,
timestamp. So if
Be-
you, we're going to go through a lot of conferences and trailers, but if you're
yeah,
like, I just want to know like what are the big hits that you're interested in. Basically, I will just go through all of the most interesting stuff for that,
yeah.
piece by piece. And we will be watching the trailers muted as I think we got copyright strike last time by like some
It's
music
like two.
in
There's
a
like two of them, right?
in a Bloodlines trailer. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I can't play the music without risking DMCA.
We weren't
Um,
even gonna watch that trailer.
and also, like the DMCA is way worse on Twitch as well, so it's super bad
Yeah.
to like
If
listen
we
to.
lose it, we can't
Yeah,
easily move it.
so um, we're just gonna talk over the trailers. So let's get started. So first recap: the first conference for E3 was pretty much the Guerrilla Collective. I believe the Guerrilla Collective was showing off a bunch of indie trailers, and they were also celebrating like Black Devs in Gaming. Was the big thing they were trying to show off? Like, you remember that game, Aerial Knight Never Yield, that we did for Tangerine for the
Oh,
demo
yeah,
festival?
yes.
That's actually
Yeah.
one that was one of the guys. I think he's behind the Black Devs in Gaming for the Guerrilla Collective. So that was cool to see.
Oh,
It's like
right, okay.
because his name's Aerial Knight. That's why it's called Aerial Knight Never Yield.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, okay.
Because that's why he has like the sub. I was like, oh, I've played that game. That game's really good. So
I
that's cool to
didn't.
see.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, so the first conference, I'm just gonna go conference by conference. There will be a timestamp on the podcast for every conference. Um, if you're only interested in certain conferences, feel free to skip ahead. If you're only interested in seeing the big hits, feel free to skip to the end.
Yeah.
I do that. I use timestamps myself. We won't take it personally. So let's get started. El Paso Everywhere is the first one. This is coming 2022 to Windows. It's a third-person shooter with bullet time. Um, so when it comes to indie conferences, they're really a mixed bag when it comes to quality. There's going to be
Yeah.
stuff you're interested in. There's going to be a lot of stuff you're probably not interested in. I would
But
say, like, for me,
it can
it's
be very
not.
experimental, as
Yeah,
Jay would say.
there's borderline experimental. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for me, like, when a lot of the indie conferences, it was like 90% I don't care about this game. It doesn't look very good. To
I think I care more about like a lot of these games than you do. Like oh, this is like slightly interesting. Like I feel like I have a broader brush
mm,
of interest, I think. But which is why I've not had anything to discuss it. That and I missed half of it.
yeah, I think like I tried to put some Tony games on the list.
Yeah.
But
But it's from your perspective. I think
yeah,
that's fine. Otherwise, we'd be here for hours.
I just picked all the ones I was interested in and some of the big hits that I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about. So that game looks pretty fun. It looks kind of experimental. It looks cool. So we'll move on next to Elderand, 2022, coming to Windows and Linux and mobile. So 2D action RPG. So check out this one. I thought this one looked cool. Kind of looked like Soulsies with a bit of like a 2D Soulsy game, kind of with like platforming. Um, I thought this would be fun to play.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this before actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's
um,
actually really cool.
some of the trailers shown at I'll mention this. Some of the trailers shown at E3, we've already seen before. So if we've seen a trailer before, I've tried to like skip it unless it shows something new or shows
Right.
like more gameplay. And a lot some of them will be just like cinematics and some will be gameplay. If I found the gameplay version from a different, so say for example, I think like um, one of the games we'll talk about is Back for Blood.
Yeah.
There was like a cinematic trailer shown off, I think, but at one conference. But I think I chose to show the Warner Brothers conferences video because they had like a gameplay video instead. So
Right. Okay.
if there's like a gameplay video instead of just like a cinematic one, then I will try and show that one over the other one.
Yeah, this was pretty good. It actually says what type of trailer it is, so it's easy to know
So Jay and
what you're
Silent Bob
looking.
Chronic Blunt Punch to be announced as a beat 'em up. I was just like, what the hell? They're making a Jay and Silent Bob game. I was just
Yeah, this
like,
is. I thought it's okay though. Like I didn't think it. Like I don't
yeah, it
know.
looks alright. It's not like
Yeah.
beat 'em ups aren't usually my sort of game. I'm not really a big like Street of Rage or whatever kind of fan. Like I'm not a
Right.
big beat
Right.
'em up guy. But I could see myself potentially playing. I
To-
think saying I'm not a beat 'em up guy, I did get the new Battletoads game because it was really cheap on
Yeah.
Steam. So maybe I'll try the new Battletoads game. Like I like platforming, but I'm not really a big beat 'em up guy.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know.
To
But
me,
yeah.
just like a I guess like 2D hack and slash. It's not the same as that. But it's like kind of like on a similar scale to me. So that's
Mm.
kind of why I like them.
Because this isn't. I think this isn't the only like video game adaptation of a film. Because there was also like I didn't think it looked that interesting, but the most confusing title I saw was they were trying to turn Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo into a game, like a narrative
What?
choices matter game, and I was
Okay.
like, what the fuck is this? Like I was like, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Uh,
Games are films. Films are games.
so next up we have Battlefield. I think I've just linked directly to the Battlefield. I've got the Battlefield reveal trailer, and I think the Xbox conference actually had gameplay rather than the reveal. So I'll just go through some stuff we know about the new Battlefield game so far. So the new Battlefield game is coming out October 22nd, 2021. They're putting emphasis on big Battlefield matches again. There will be 128 players matches again. Big 64 v 64. It's going to be supported on the Xbox Series X, S, PC, PlayStation 5. But the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 version, the limitation of that is you'll only be locked at 64 players. I thought that was kind of interesting that the past gen versions of this game are being locked to not having as many players. It's like the way they're getting around the limitations of the old hardware sort of thing. Because
Yeah.
they know
I
people still
understand.
have their PS4s and their Xbox Ones, so they still
Yeah.
want to get the sales.
Yeah.
Um, they have announced that this game is going to have no campaign mode, and also I think the big one
Right.
at the moment is it's not going to have a battle royale game mode. Especially given their main competitor Call of Duty, they've gone like all in on Warzone at this point.
Hmm.
Like Warzone's the main game mode for Call of Duty right now, I'd say. Whereas, as someone who personally played Firestorm, the battle royale game mode for Battlefield 5, it just wasn't very good in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
it was like
That's fair.
I still think the idea of a circling Firestorm coming in and killing you was a really cool idea, and like it was gorgeous. Like it looked super cool. But the actual gameplay itself, I just did not get along with very well. I found it kind of slow, and it just wasn't very good. Like
Yeah. I think it's.
like especially Battlefield 5 was an incredibly tactical game where you had to squad up and be with your teammates and
Yeah.
be on points. But then like
There was no other
the
game that like did other
the
stuff,
battle
right?
royale
It
game
just
mode just didn't feel anything like the base game, which was what it
right.
was designed
Right.
around. So it just felt really weird. But this looks really cool. Apparently, since the Battlefield 2042 trailer, because this is going to be like a futuristic sort of advanced warfare sort of
Yeah. I
Battlefield
think
game.
it's in the year 2042, right? It's
Yeah,
like near future.
future
I don't
of
know
war.
how in 21 years we're gonna have. I don't know. 21 years is a long time, I guess.
Well, like a lot of the stuff they're using still looks like it's a lot of the stuff like these. I wanted to point this out.
Yeah.
When he goes into the elevator, he changes attachments mid-match, so it seems like that's going to be something you're going to be able to do in the new Battlefield game. Be able to like change attachments on the fly, which is pretty cool. Because obviously there's
Hmm.
no campaign and there's no battle royale mode, so that's definitely going to be in the multiplayer mode. That's like an
Right.
unofficial confirmation of that.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing in gameplay was like the grappling hooks were like a big thing, and like the wingsuits sort of
I
thing.
want to, yeah, I am. Wait, I want to see how that plays out, but
Because it's always
it looks pretty
like
fun.
a big thing when you were playing, like especially like obviously Battlefield 5 is the one I've played the most recently. Was that if you ever had to come out of the sky or out of like a flying vehicle, you would have to like parachute down very slowly, and you were very easy to get shot. Whereas in this
Yeah,
game, it feels like aerial combat is going to be a lot quicker and a lot more forgiving, I would say, with things like wingsuits and grappling hooks. If you do eventually get like shot out of a plane or whatever, so we have to
yeah. I'm
see
not
how
sure how
that like.
realistic it is to just use a wingsuit, but yeah, I would assume like moving
Mm.
fast would be better than moving slowly. But
Well, I think that like a wingsuit, you still need a parachute anyway. So
oh yeah, yeah. I just feel like these days, do we have many paratroopers anymore? Like I feel like you just land with the
they
plane.
do they do in the year 2042, Tony.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So they've announced 7 massive maps are going to be out on launch. So I guess they're called. Basically, they said it's the return of all-out war. So I guess when they say 7 maps on launch, I don't know if they're talking about the base game. I think they're saying 7 of these massive maps for the 128 player lobbies.
Right,
Because
okay,
some people are
yeah.
saying, oh, there's only 7 maps, but that might just be 7 maps for the big game modes, whereas the smaller game modes might have more maps. We'll have to see, like when we get more
Yeah.
information on when the game fully releases. But the maps I've seen so far do look really high quality. I am I'm personally a fan of the smaller maps, whereas like in Battlefield 3, I was a big fan of Operation Metro, and in Battlefield 5, I was a big fan of the map Rotterdam, which was a map that had no aerial units at all. You couldn't use any aerial vehicles,
Yeah, I thought
and it was
didn't
very
quite a
like
few people like
closed. Like
Rotterdam.
I loved Rotterdam, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was a very cool map because it was so like closed off sort of thing. That's more my sort of
yeah.
thing, but yeah. Battlefield 2042. I might be playing it. I am not going to pre-order it, though.
Yeah, don't pre-order. But I would assume it should be pretty good. It looks pretty good.
I'll be really interested to see if like EA's like, yo, Battlefield 2042, um, EA
Free to play.
Access Day 1. That would be
Yeah,
interesting to see.
yeah,
That would be really big because they have been doing a lot more EA Access Day 1s for like I think Knockout City was a day 1. Like a few more of their games have been like, okay, let's get people to subscribe to our service, sort of thing, which is a big thing, especially for Microsoft. Is they're putting more and more of their chips on their Games Pass, sort of thing.
yeah. That's true. Because I feel like what they've done is like they've realized they can't make every game like a game as a service, but they can turn every game like a normal game into a service by just adding it to their actual subscription service. I feel like that's what they're doing.
So the next up, if you want to do another, that was the Battlefield. There was just a Battlefield reveal trailer, was like a
Yeah,
separate thing. If you want to do a
it was
timestamp for
pretty
that.
big. Yeah.
The next conference is Summer Games Fest. So this was the one hosted by Jeff Keighley, and we got quite a few announcements here. There was some cool stuff here. So the first one was Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Quarter 1 2022. We saw absolutely zero gameplay for this.
Yeah, I
Not
was gonna
a
say like
cent
you sent.
gameplay.
So that's like this is why I didn't watch myself, but you sent me stuff from it at the time. I can't remember what the hell I was doing, but I was like, I'm not feeling any of
Well,
this.
basically, I was also known as like, okay, hopefully they've just taken the best DLC for Borderlands 2,
Oh yeah, I
Tiny
only hope.
Tina's Dungeon Dragon DLC. I can't remember what was it
Yeah,
called. Tiny Tina's Keep or something like that. Basically, Tiny Tina's playing because I played it with my friend Halo Andy. Basically, what happens is Tiny Tina's telling a D&D board game, and you go into this world, but Tiny Tina kind of changes the world on the fly based on how she's feeling, sort of thing. And it's pretty
yeah,
cool. Like it was one of the best DLCs for Borderlands 2. And it seems like they've got like a star-studded roster of celebrities, and they're like going to turn it into like a full-off spin-off game. So hopefully, the writing is like Borderlands 2 quality rather than Borderlands 3 quality. Because from
yeah.
what
Can only
I've
hope, but again, it's the Borderlands 3 DLC, right? So
hmm.
would you not expect
Well,
Borderlands 3?
no. I think it's a full standalone game. It's not
Right,
Borderlands 3
right. Okay,
DLC.
fair enough. It's just like
From what we
either,
know,
yeah, standalone.
it's called Tiny Tina
What?
Wonderlands. So
Okay.
because it has a store page and it seems like it's a Borderlands looter shooter RPG based on the store page, and
Right,
it's
right,
not
right.
listed as a Borderlands 3 DLC. It's coming early
Yeah.
2022, so we'll have to see more about that. Metal Gear Slug got a tactical strategy game made for
Okay.
it. They've spun off like it's like a side scroller, right, where you just go around shooting tanks, but they made like a XCOM style turn-based strategy game. The description was a dynamic tactical RPG with roguelike elements.
Right.
We haven't like we see a lot of these like games recently, especially after like Into the Breach did like such a good job. I don't know if you've
Oh
seen
yeah.
like Into the Breach where you have to like
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very good game.
you see like the enemy's turns before they make them, and then you're trying to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
minimize casualties, sort of thing. Is kind of the gameplay loop.
Yeah. It's
Um,
very cool idea.
but yeah, I thought it was just interesting the way that Metal Gear was going. Um, not Metal Gear, Metal Slug. I called it Metal Gear this entire time, didn't I? It's because fucking Kojima was at this event and he was trolling people, making him think that fucking Death Stranding was gonna get like a Metal Gear
Oh god. Wait, wasn't
crossover or
this the
something.
conference with Death Stranding stuff?
Yeah, because next time we have Death Stranding director's cut. So I saw this
Oh
trailer.
god.
The entire trailer is such bait. It's like you see Jeff Keighley and Kojima on stage, and you know Jeff Keighley fucking loves Kojima. They just always have like this complete bromance on stage where they're like flirting with each other on stage, and so they show off this trailer for Death Stranding. I was like, oh, maybe it's like Death Stranding DLC. Maybe it's like a new Death Stranding game. It's the second Strand type game in the Strand series. They show off like this warehouse full of like stealth guys, right? And everyone's like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna do like a Death Stranding. They're gonna do like a Metal Gear thing because he finds like a box, and then he like takes it
Wait,
apart.
hang on.
Um,
Wait. That's the whole trailer, just him fucking over the box.
yeah,
What?
because he starts to use it
How
like
does
in
this
Metal Gear.
advertise your game though?
You know the funny thing as well. Another fucking troll is the box is full of oranges.
Yeah, that's a troll directed at us, I think.
The orange box. You gotta be fucking kidding me, Kojima.
Yeah, it's
Um,
tangerine.
yeah. But anyway, he just pisses about this box and then he puts it back. And then he's like,
Yeah.
just
No
kidding,
box
Death Stranding Director's Cut. So I guess Death Stranding
So
Director's Cut.
what's in it?
I guess it's just the.
Oranges.
No,
Extra oranges.
I think it's just the console upgrade to the
Oh,
PS5.
okay,
And I
right.
don't know if. Is it on Xbox? I don't think it is, right?
I have no idea.
It's the. I think it's just
Can't
the. I think
remember.
it's just the next gen upgrade, and they might add some like tiny features. I don't know.
Right. Well, I'm still not interested, so.
Okay. Are you interested in Jurassic World Evolution 2, Tony, coming 2021?
I don't know. It's okay,
I
I
wrote
guess.
this down. This is the Tony game I wrote down because I said that's a management game. Tony loves
Yeah,
management games.
I don't know what it is. There's something about like zoo management games I'm not as enthused with. I don't know why.
Right.
I just feel like there's not. I don't know. I just feel like there's not like it's not that interesting as a concept. Just like you can smell
See,
animals. Like
I'm more.
unless it's like an ecosystem management, like you know like Spore in the Galaxy, like you could like terraform planets, but you'd need like three different types of trees, three different types of
Mm.
predators, and three different types of herbivores. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like having to manage all of that.
Well,
But
they did this big thing. They're like, oh, we got Jeff Goldblum for this one. We got him to announce it and
yeah,
stuff. And it's like, we got Jeff from the. Do you remember Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic
I do,
Park?
but I don't really care about I don't know. I just don't care about personalities that much. I just care about the actual
Mm.
content.
Well, I mean, another big thing we saw from this event, and the Summer Games Fest was, it seems like we still haven't got past the get the celebrities who have no idea what gaming is to do your
Yeah.
announcements. Like, there was like, I think it was like a Dungeons and Dragons game or something. They had like Hannibal Buress playing it, and he just seemed to have no idea what was going on. I was like, okay, Hannibal Buress is playing it. I don't care. I just want to see what the game's like. Or
Yeah.
like because it was sponsored by Amazon, and they had like Ryan Reynolds is doing that game where he plays like an NPC in a GTA game, and they advertised that film here. Also, they had like musical concerts here as well, and I was like, okay. They had like musical performances during the show, and I was like, okay, I guess.
Yes.
Tony,
Rubbish.
Among Us,
Amogus.
we got an update.
Amogus.
Got an Among Us
Is it a
update.
big update? Is it a good
Um,
update?
they did. It was like the announcement of the roadmap ideas that they're adding was kind of big, but like not soon. It was like they're gonna come in the future sort of thing, but once they come, they'll be pretty big. So the big announcements was for the longest time people have been playing like hide and seek mode was like an official mode, but the really big one was they're adding a roles mode. So it's going to completely change the core gameplay where you can have different
Yes, it's
roles.
like the
The,
hidden werewolf sort of
yeah,
hidden
because for
roles,
the
right?
longest time people have been making mods for Among Us, and they're adding like new roles like the jester, the sheriff, and stuff.
Oh,
But
it's
now
just cool they're adding it to it.
they're like officially adding them sort of thing, which is pretty cool. Because I think the next update they're doing is the 15 player and the new colors update,
Nice.
and they showed a pixel of a new map. That was all they were allowed to show. I thought that was a funny joke. Um,
This is all right, yeah. So this is all we're allowed to show this little pixel.
um, I just read something today actually. Apparently, like, because I don't think there's that many people who work at Innersloth, and they said they were kind of burned out from all the Twitch success.
Oh
Um,
right.
because I read like recently the Phasmophobia dude put out a blog post saying like it's crazy how much success he got so quickly, and he's gonna try and like finally expand his team because I think he's still the only person who works on that game.
Right.
So you can actually get like proper art assets and stuff like that made for the
I
game.
guess I would say like going from like doing everything yourself to then having like you kind of have to like change your hat to be like
Mm.
manager, like instead, which is
But it's
very
like
difficult.
Among Us and like Phasmophobia, they were just like really small teams, and then like overnight it was like
Yeah.
boom, everyone knows this game. It's like
Yeah.
crazy. Um, but yeah, Salt and Sacrifice 2022. I put this. It's not something I'm personally interested in, but it was like it was one of the big like 2D Souls like games, and it's getting a sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm waiting for one like a game to do this right because I feel like there's not been a good 2D Souls like game yet.
isn't like
I
2D
feel
Souls
like
a game just kind of like I don't know. I might misspeak. Isn't it kind of like Castlevania sort of thing?
yeah, okay, so yeah, in terms of like the gameplay, yes, but then it's like kind of like how you implement the gameplay. It's kind of it's kind of like an immersive sim sort of tagging. It's not really a genre itself. It's just kind of like how it's
Yeah.
implemented. And they always make it annoying and not fun, and I feel like they've done it again. I don't know, like from what I can
Well, I'll
see,
have
it's
to
just
say.
like they go, "Oh, Dark Souls is slow," and I'm like, Is it though? Like some parts are, but and also Bloodborne's a better Dark Souls in my opinion. Like, can we like look at Bloodborne? I don't know. Like, I feel like people like the like Souls-like games, but don't actually understand what makes a good Souls-like game.
I put down another Tony game, current 2022 2 Point Campers. I think this is actually
Yeah.
one
Now
that you're quite
this,
excited
yeah,
for.
I like this. I like this. I mean, I've still yet to play the Two Point Hospital game properly, actually. But I care more about university stuff than hospital stuff, actually. But I think the humor for hospital stuff is
Mm.
there's way more potential for that than this. But then again, I don't know. Okay, there's a wizard, so I guess there's lots of weird stuff.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to this actually. I think
And it's a
it's like the
Sega thing, so
perfect.
we're hoping for more Sonic crossovers.
Yes, more. No more Sonic, please.
You don't want
Less
any more
Sonic.
Sonic.
Less Sonic.
What the fuck is a Sonic?
Yeah, that's what I always think.
Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, so let's just quickly go through all the crossovers we got. We got Stranger Things and Smite. Smite's had a bunch of crossovers. Well,
Do you want me to have a timestamp for crossovers or?
yeah, sure. Why not? So we've got the Demogorgon. I think 11 is like a new hero. And then I think like Hopper, the sheriff guy, he's a skin for like one of the gun shooting guys.
Okay.
Because Smite also did a recent crossover. I think the Demogorgon might be a skin. I'm not sure. They might all be skins actually. I'm not sure if they're all like. I don't play Smite, so obviously I'm not well versed on like if these are
Yeah,
existing. I think Apollo is an existing hero, so maybe these are just skins. But like they did this, they did the Dead by Daylight thing, which recently, which is why I knew about like Stranger Things doing the crossover. Um,
yeah.
then the next one is seems like an obvious one. Fast and the Furious Rocket League. There's Fast and the Furious skins for Rocket League.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Then we have uh, Near Automata being added as a skin to Fall Guys. That's another one.
It's a very weird looking skin, I have to say.
It's 2B, right? That's the name of the character.
Yeah, it's 2B.
But yeah, there's some crossovers. I think there's going to be a few more in the Ubisoft. There's like one or two in the Ubisoft one, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, next up we have. Oh, they said they were like a new Painkiller game is coming, and then they said absolutely nothing. Info announced by developer, no footage. So
Okay.
one time, because I think it's People Can Fly. They did like the old
Oh, yeah.
Painkiller games, and they were like, "Oh, another one's coming, by the way." So
Okay.
there's another one coming, but like a big thing from this E3 was again we can still see how hard the pandemic's hitting people, and basically a lot of games just have nothing to show, and they're just like announcements with like a title card or something. They just have like really nothing else to say, sort of thing. Next up, we have Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt for 2021. Tony, you remember the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out? Well, guess what? They're also making a Battle Royale game.
Yeah,
It's going to be a blood. Basically, from what I read, Paradox has wanted like a big game to base a bunch of smaller games on.
They want a franchise.
They want
Paradox has
they
never
want a
had
franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, they've never had a franchise. That's the one thing they've always wanted, and they've had like game series like because like I might be saying like yeah, but they've got these other games that like have like sequels. Like we've recently had Victoria 3 announced from Paradox. Like, what are you talking about? It's like yes, but you can't make a Victoria 3 other type of game. Like a franchise is more of like the actual theme or like the actual like
The
the universe,
universe
not
and the
the
lore.
game itself. It's like you can't have like there's no Anno game. There's no like I don't know like what the SimC in a way, but then it says The
Stellaris.
Sims. So yeah, I guess that's a good example. So Anno doesn't have any like other games. It's like it's more of a game series, not a franchise. Whereas Sims has SimCity and The Sims. Like The Sims franchise is more than just its series, and Paradox really wants one, and so I think that's why they put all their money into Vampire the Masquerade. But I feel like that's what's also destroying it.
Well,
Because like, there's so many
the thing
issues.
is, this isn't. There's another. There's. I'll talk about it later. But there's another game they're announcing as a Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
Bloodlines, but like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed, and they've like fired their own development team, and they're getting somebody else to
Yeah.
work on it. And it seems like if that game is having so many issues, how can you also be developing two other games at the same time that exist in the
Well,
same universe, sort of thing?
I guess, but they're not really linked. My understanding at the moment is Paradox is going through a massive expansion. Like they're trying to get like more and more developers.
Right.
Because because like Solaris, for example, is now they've kind of their team has only grown and grown, and now they're split into two: one to do updates and one to do new content.
Hmm.
So like I think they're just a little reshifting at the moment, and yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if there's like one person I don't know if there's like one game director in like in charge of like all the Masquerade franchise, or
Yeah.
if like they're all completely separate developments. I really don't know.
Next up, We have the Anacrusis. If you don't know why I'm excited for this one, this is by Stray Bombay. If you don't know who Stray Bombay is, it's Chet Falisek's company, the one of the lead devs on stuff like Portal, Left 4 Dead, big time Valve developer, and he
Right.
basically, it seems like all the ex Valve people are making Left 4 Dead. Like it just
Right.
so this is called the Anacrusis, and it's basically Left 4 Dead with aliens. It seems like set in the 70s. Yeah,
I'm not
basically,
sure about the guns right now, but
have to see how this one turns out because
yeah.
we have World War Z, we have Back for Blood made by Turtle Rock, the ex Left 4 Dead people, and then we have Chet Falisek's Stray Bombay, the Anacrusis, Left 4 Dead with Zombies, who was like worked
Yeah.
on Left 4 Dead as well. So it's all a race to make the next Left 4 Dead game before Valve does, because Valve's not going to do anything or make any games. So see who's ready to make the next game in the series. So I have some information about this one actually. So it's apparently it looks like it's coming to Game Pass. I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass day one, but it seems like that could be a good idea for the game to launch on Game
Hmm.
Pass day one, because then you'd always have a player base. Um, it's being made on Unreal Engine 4. That is the engine they went with, and they want to have heavy mod support. So Chet understands like um, having the workshop was massive for Left 4 Dead 1. So I think the idea is they said they want at least to have a few mods available on launch, where they're going to like give out tools to people and be like, hey, if you want to try and create something custom with this, here's some
It's pretty
code,
cool.
create like a custom
Yeah.
mod for this, and then as soon as it launches, people can try out custom mods, and then they can take ideas from that and then make their own mods, and that will like spark lots of modders.
Yeah.
It makes sense that the ex Valve guys like, let's just give this to a
It
bunch of modders and do
I
mods with
was
it.
I will say it's always good to like start from planning to do it like from the launch of the game. And Bethesda normally does it like a month after. Like they give out like the toolkit, which is like a
Hmm.
bit slow, but better than a lot of other devs that just don't do anything. But
Oh, I should have pointed
yeah, it's
out
good to give tools.
on that Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt Battle Royale game, it's going to be free to play as well. So that's that.
Yeah.
We have Tribes of Midgard. Um, this one looks kind of interesting. Let me just read. July 27th, 2021. So it's coming out soon in about a month. And it's going to be an action survival crafting RPG. Um,
Okay, so it's
looks pretty.
okay, so it's kind of
It basically what it looks like to me is top down Valheim is what it looks like to
yeah,
me.
but it actually looks good.
It actually looks good. Wow, is that some shade thrown at Valheim?
I can't
You
I
hate
can't
the
I've
PS1 graphic style games. You just hate them.
yeah, I've looked into Valheim though, and it's just no, it just looks shit.
I like the art style.
Okay, okay. Tribes of Midgard though, I'm all in.
You're
I'm all
all
in.
in already.
Yeah. No,
Alright.
this to be fair, when it comes to Valheim, it's more of the gameplay. Like I find like I get like I don't like the art, but I don't really get the gameplay itself. So
Hmm. So there's
I
some
just
good like
play
building and
for
crafting in
an
this.
Exiles.
So next up we had probably one of my favorite things from this event, which we saw gameplay from Evil Dead. We talked about again Saber Interactive, the people who made World War Z. They're also
Mm-hmm.
making this like zombie demon sort of game sort of thing. Um, Last year we talked about it because we saw like a trailer but no real gameplay, but we actually get to see gameplay now, and the
Yeah,
gameplay looks really fun from what I've seen.
we we had like an extended announcement thing last time. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw the house and the car, and that was about it in the forest.
Mm.
Yeah, this actually yeah, this is really decent actually.
The graphics
Like
look good. The
really
gameplay
meaty
looks really good.
feedback.
Yeah, like it looks really fun from what I can see. And I believe
Okay, yeah.
they show off the mode where you get to play as like the demon as well. So
Oh, this kind of
potentially
reminds me
like
of is it
DBDs
Dead
sort of
Rising?
thing. Dead Rising?
Kind of like yeah, like I don't know what it is,
The
but like the animations and things remind me of Dead Rising for some reason.
Dead Rising's very much huge crowds, one guy sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's
In
messing
like a
about and like
mall
find
sort of thing,
yeah,
yeah.
find ways to kill them. But I don't know, does the animation remind me of Dead Rising for some reason?
Mm.
I don't know why.
I was looking through like my list of most hyped games. I was like, oh, there's a lot of zombie games in here, so maybe
Yeah.
that's a theme. It seems like lots of people are making zombie games recently.
Yeah, I feel like zombie games kind of come in like waves and tides, right? They
Mm.
kind of come and go in terms of popularity.
But yeah, like just the fact they showed if you can play as like the evil character, that kind of gave me like
Yeah.
DBD vibes sort of thing. Thought that was
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
to see. So I want to obviously I still want to see more about this from the gameplay I've seen so far. It looks really fun. So I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to
but
be
the
excited to try
animation's
that out.
really the animations though are so Dead Rising to me.
Mm. And then
It
of
looks good
course,
though.
guys, Elden Ring was announced. It's coming out next year. I don't care about Elden Ring.
Wait, which was that? Was
it's
that
it's everyone's getting fucking mental for Elden Ring. They're like, yes, finally,
what
From
even is it?
Software's. It's From Software's next game. The
Yeah,
Dark
but
Souls guys. What?
what's different about it, I guess.
It's going to be more open world from what it seems.
Okay.
You're going to have like horseback
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
gameplay.
okay. I'm kind of interested in this.
This was the one where I think George R. R. Martin helped write some of it.
Oh, it's this
Um,
one, isn't it? Yes. I'm not, yeah, I'm not super hyped for it, but I'm actually quite interested in this to see how good it is. But yeah, wait for it to come out, guys. Don't get overhyped.
Andy says we both look good. We're both looking smart today, and of course, Danny,
What?
You're wearing your
Oh,
tuxedo, of
right,
course, on the image. Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely wearing that. Thanks, Andy. I'm glad you noticed.
Personally, I'm just not a fan of like the From
You,
Software
you know,
style games.
yeah,
So
a Souls like
no,
gameplay kind of guy.
I've never played
That's
one.
fair. That's fair.
Really, like I tried to play Dark Souls 1, but it was just kind of too outdated for me. Um,
Yeah, I would
if I was
I really
if I was gonna
Bloodborne
if
and Dark
I
Souls 3 I would try. Obviously you can't play Bloodborne because it's on
actually I would
PlayStation.
say the games that have interested me the most out of the ones I've seen that look the best, I actually think if I was going to try one, I would probably try Sekiro. That's the one that interests me the most.
Okay, so the problem with Sekiro is it limits you to only one playstyle.
Right. Okay. Well,
In Dark Souls 3 you can play like Sekiro and other playstyles as well.
that's still the one I would like to check out. So,
You just like okay, fair enough.
well,
If you like parrying and blocking, then go
yeah.
for it.
Okay.
I'm more fan of a dodging kind of guy, so not really for me.
We'll go on to the next conference, and it's Koch Primetime. Yeah, I love to say some Koch
Part
Primetime.
time.
Yeah, there we go. So we have a couple here. This is going to be some. Usually the indie ones, there'll only be a couple of games that are worth checking out. So we have Codename Final Form, which is an action game to be announced coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Xbox. Oh, is the mic okay today? I'll just ask Andy.
Oh, you're
If
asking for like background
yeah,
noise.
see if like how because it seems like every so often my mic goes like full red, and I don't know if like a flood of like background noise is coming through when that
Yeah.
happens. So we'll just. It's hard to do this stuff like live when you don't have any feedback. But anyway, this is Codename Final Form. I thought this one looked really interesting. Like
I like the
they
yeah.
showed off a
Honestly,
little.
this
They showed off like a sliver of gameplay. But the sliver
yeah.
of gameplay looks really interesting. You like it's like an FPS game, but you also like turn into a ball and you move around really fast. And I'm a huge fan of like FPS games, and I'm a huge
Metroid.
fan of
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm a huge fan of games with fantastic movement.
Like Metroid, yeah.
Well, I never played a Metroid game.
Turn to
So.
a ball.
Andy's saying Mike muted. Okay, nice try, Andy.
I
Mike
say it's fine.
muted.
I'll take that. It's fine. Wait, why
Uh,
did you come Deliverance here again? What's going on with this?
Usually if it's a
Oh,
game
what?
that's already out, it'd be like it's coming to PlayStation 5 or it's coming to Stadia
So
or
just
something.
so there's got a developer interview here. So okay, okay, fair enough.
Again, if it's something we've already seen and I've already talked about it, I'm probably just going to skip it. But if you
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen it,
fair.
you can check it out.
Yeah.
Scars Above. Let's check out the gameplay demo. I thought this one looked kind of interesting. Again, it kind of looked like a big kind of open world game where you get to explore and there's some weird like alien stuff going on the planet. Kind of reminded me of that new PS5 game. I think it was called Returnal. Andy said
Oh
Kingdom
yeah.
Come is coming to Ouya and Stadia. Do you remember that Ouya console thing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I feel like nobody remembers that console. Like that was
Oh,
so
the
long
world of
ago.
this looks like Returnal. Yeah, you're right. It
Mm,
does.
yeah, it reminds me of that Returnal game. I thought that looked kind of
I don't
interesting.
know. It reminds me of like the new Tomb Raiders combined with Returnal.
And then we have Encased, an isometric RPG coming
Isometric
um,
exercise.
Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So the early access was released in 2019, but maybe it's a full 1.0 release. I thought it looked really interesting because it's like, again, I've seen a couple of games now that have taken on this 70s art style, where we have
Yeah.
like, I think it was like We Happy Few was kind of like a 60s kind of 70s art style. Of course, we were talking about the Anacrusis, the Alien Left 4 Dead game by Chet Felicek, has this 70s style. I think like
Yeah, true.
video games kind of go through like phases where like recently it was because Cyberpunk was so popular, a lot of Cyberpunk games came out. We
Yeah.
had a lot of like 80s inspired games.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like the 70s, you might be seeing this a lot more. I feel like it's an under like explored area in terms of gaming so far. So I'll be interested to see more
Yeah.
stuff. Basically, it kind of looked like it kind of reminded me of like one of the original Fallout games, like one or two, but set in like a 70s
Yeah,
sort
but
of
more.
area.
Yeah, I'm more up to date like in terms of controls
Hmm.
and UI and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I get that impression.
Next up, we have next conference is IGN Expo.
Okay.
Definitely historical settings constantly change. First CODs were World War One, World War Two, similar, and then that faded out. I think with COD those they kept making the same game over and over again, so they had to keep putting different skins on it. Uh,
Yeah.
so for IGN we have Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions. It's coming out September 3rd, 2020 by Survivor OS. Survivorus. I don't know. I never know how you pronounce that. It's like Survivor OS, how I say it. Or Survivors?
Vivios?
Survivios? I don't know. But I put this in here because Survivios made Creed the boxing game in VR that I've played that's really fun. Like the PvP boxing game. But it seems
Yeah.
like they're making a non VR version, maybe based on like how popular the VR
Oh,
version
Rocky.
was. Yeah, based on like having the Creed and Rocky like characters, they can make like a because obviously like there's such a small player base for VR. Maybe they're like, if we try to make like a non-VR game, then we can have like a bigger player base. I just thought this was like
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Next up we have Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I thought I would mention this. They're making like a enhanced edition or whatever.
Did you see Doki Doki like Ragnarok?
No, what was that?
I don't know. It's a weird like. Is this a franchise now? Like, what the fuck
So
is this?
if you don't know, my brother when we were talking about games of
19, I think, in the start of 2020.
2019, he said one of his games of the decade was Doki Doki Literature Club, and I said for Halloween I will do a live stream where I play this game, and I played it
Yeah.
for like 40 minutes, and then I gave up because it was so fucking boring, and I just didn't care about playing a visual novel game. But the
Did we
problem
actually do it at
was,
Halloween in the end?
it was around Halloween. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
on
Okay. I was gonna
Halloween Day.
say. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh god, this fucking game,
Hang
dude.
on. There's 1,000 new images to unlock, Joe. So it must
Yeah,
be a good
yeah.
update.
I've said this. I think the real terrifying thing about Doki Doki Literature Club is the fact that you have to play through a visual novel for so long. That's the real
Yeah.
terrifying thing to me. Like,
The
I get
start.
it, guys. I
The
get it.
start has no choices or anything at the start. Like, I don't really get why you have to sit through so long of just reading.
I
Like, I
get it.
don't
It's
understand.
a secret horror game. I get it. I get the idea. I've played other game. I've played like Pony Island. That's
But yeah,
like
but
a much
okay.
more interesting game.
But secret horror games shouldn't have like a shit gameplay at the start.
Mm.
Like it should be a good game throughout. Like there's no excuse to like make it bad.
Basically, they're gonna
It's
add
not like
like
you
they're gonna
make
add
it
like
bad.
new side quests and improving the image quality. My hope for this will be that they release Doki Literature Club Plus, and they just remove all of the psychological horror elements and just make it a visual novel game to really troll people. That would be my full horror game. Would have to be playing through the whole of Doki Doki Literature Club without the
Only
horror
yeah,
parts.
if you were forced to.
Yeah. Oh, did you see like they're making like a Cuphead Netflix show? I don't know if you
I
saw
haven't seen
like
that.
this. I don't know if I wrote this down or like showed it off, but yeah, does the thing about Cuphead was it had amazing animations, so having like a Cuphead
Yes,
Netflix show that just
like
makes
the
perfect
old
sense.
like 20s maybe like art style. I don't know what you
Mm.
would call that sort of
It
animation
was like
style.
the Whistling Boat, like the old Disney style sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I don't know what era you would call that, but like the
20s,
very at first,
40s, yes, that
yeah,
sort of
like the
now.
very first sort of animations.
Next up we have Ollie Ollie World, December 2021. Coming out. It's like a platformer sports. It's like a 2D skating game. I have both for the first
It's
games, but I haven't played them yet. But they're like
not being confused with Skatebird, the 3D skating.
no, very different game actually.
Very different.
It's more like a 2D platformer, but you're on a skateboard, I would say, and it's more about like
Yeah.
precise timing in order to get like a perfect run.
So how does like
Um,
the movement? Like how does like is that grinding and
mm. I think there's a gameplay. I think I show a gameplay. Oh, I think I show a gameplay trailer at the Future Game Show.
okay?
You'll see like brief gameplay on the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like 2.5D. We have like more 3D backgrounds, but it's more like you just
Okay.
do levels over and over again until you get like the precise like jumps right in order to
Yeah,
complete it.
I'm more fan of. Okay, in this case, I'm more fan of like 3D style
Yeah,
games.
yeah. But
I like
I'm
the freeform of like I decide where to go and how to do the tricks, not you have to do the
yeah. See,
exact
I'm more of a
tricks.
fan of like the 2D skateboarding games like
Right.
Ollie Ollie sort of thing. Like I'm not a big fan of the 3D ones.
Yeah, I just
So
don't like the whole you have to like just do perfect. I don't get much fun out of just like trying to do things
I feel like
perfectly.
I have to hurry up because we're like almost 50 minutes in and I'm on like the third conference.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the fourth one. It's fine.
let's talk about some small ones. The Forgotten City. You remember this Skyrim mod that's still being turned into a game? It's like
Vaguely,
it's like
yes.
one of the most popular Skyrim mods of all time, and
Yes.
it's being turned into like a full game. I feel like for the longest time, it's like the idea is like people keep getting turned to gold, and you're living like the same day over and over again in a time loop. It's the Outer Wilds too, guys. It's the Forgotten City. Um, but yeah, I was just like, I like completely forgot it existed until I saw this trailer again, and I was like, oh yeah, that exists.
Wait, what was it called? Forgotten.
The Forgotten City.
Okay, right.
Core Keeper by Pugstorm coming quarter 4 of this year. This is another like little interesting 2D game. Kind of reminds me of like I feel like a big like theme in indie games right now is there's a lot of like people who want to make a Stardew Valley style game. It's quite popular
Yeah.
this year. So yeah, obviously there's some farming. It's sort of a Stardew Valley sort of game. Blacktail was a really interesting game. It starts off with like kids describing like Hansel and Gretel or something, and then like it turns into like a full on 3D sort of game with like a bow and arrow and stuff, and looks like super high realistic graphics, and it looks like
Wait, which one
pretty
was it? Sorry?
interesting. It's called Blacktail,
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
and we didn't see much gameplay, so there's not crazy much to talk about, but like from what we saw, it does look pretty interesting.
The art is really
Um,
cool.
have to check that one out more. World War Z Aftermath. This is probably one of the more interesting ones from IGN. So, World War Z Aftermath is kind of like an expansion to the original World War Z rather than like an update or a DLC. So I'll just play the trailer. So it's come out 2021. So if you don't know, Tony, World War Z, the game, is an Epic exclusive, and I believe
Yeah.
it's made by Saber Interactive again. And I think the deal they signed was they weren't like a timed exclusive for World War Z. They signed a deal where they would always be exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Um,
Right.
but um, World War Z
Making a new one.
Aftermath has a Steam page, and it seems like
Right.
instead of like doing an update for World War Z, they're going to just kind of release this as an expansion on the game as like a on Steam now sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting because like I played World War Z for free when they gave it away on Epic, and I think the game's really good. I think I have about 40 hours on the game, playing it multiplayer with the game. So with friends. So the stuff they're adding to this one is it's going to be like a $20 expansion, I believe. There's going to be a new melee combat. This big thing. World War Z is completely in third person. There's going to be a new first person mode, which they briefly show off. A new class, it looks like, and a new map. I think the idea is you're going to retake Rome, is the idea of what they show off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I said for the longest time, like, World War Z would be so much bigger if it was on Steam. And it seems like this is what they're doing. They're bringing World War Z to Steam with like a bunch of brand new features. So that's going to be coming sometime this year.
The Epic Game Store is going to be big in 2024, the guys, I've been told.
Yeah, it's going to pop off.
By lawsuits.
Oh, I forgot to talk about something to do with Koch Primetime. They showed a JPEG image of Payday 3 and said, we got nothing to show. So there you go.
There's Payday 3 just there. Yeah.
They literally just said Payday 3. They even had an interview with like Almir. If you don't know Almir, he's like the big dev on Payday.
Big cheese.
And he just said, yeah, Payday 3's coming. We got nothing to show you. Please help us, we went bankrupt. Goodbye.
Yeah. We've just started development, don't worry, guys.
Payday 3 is going to be a great game.
Don't turn up to E3 if you don't to show. Just wait. Like, honestly, it'd be better for you.
And I think I got better. This was a story trail of Shovel Knight, so I'll do the one with gameplay. Next up, we have Guerrilla Collective Day 2. So we have the second day of the Guerrilla Collective. First up, we have Aragami 2. Coming September 17th, 2021 to all platforms. I've bought Aragami 1, but I never actually played it. And he says, give me money, money me, money now, me and money needing a lot now. Yep, that's what Almir said. He said, payday,
right.
Got no money. We need to.
So what game we talking about?
Aragami 2. So do you remember Aragami 1 was this indie stealth game that was quite stylized? Yes. It seems like they've completely changed the art style for Aragami 2, or it's more of a full 3D sort of game. Again, I have Aragami, but it's on my backlog for the longest time, so I haven't actually got around to playing it yet. But it's a game I'm very much interested in, where it's like a 3D kind of stealth, powered Dishonored sort of game.
Oh, it still looks pretty cool animations and things. Actually,
it's right up my alley sort of game. So
yeah.
I'll definitely be interested in playing the second game.
Movement as well. Yes, I quite like this actually. Next
up, we have Fire Girl, which is a roguelike action game. This one looks kind of weird. It's like a 2D roguelike game. You're a girl going around putting out fires.
Oh, right, okay, fire with faces. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. But I just thought the art style on this game was really cool, where it mixed the 2D Pixar style, the 3D background sort of thing. I just thought the idea of this game aesthetically was really cool, so that's why I put this one on here.
You can use it as a jetpack. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. It looked really fun. So
I remember fire rescue door kickers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Next up, we have a Demon's Mirror. I wasn't sure about putting this one on, but I'll just go through it quickly. Coming 2022, it's going to be a roguelike deck builder. Because I love roguelike deck builders. I love fucking Slay the Spire. So I was like, okay, if it's a deck builder, I got to put it on. Because this one, it seems like it's a roguelike deck building game, but you play Bejeweled on the side.
What?
I don't know. Look at the trailer. What the fuck is happening here? It's guys, Slay the Spire Bejeweled.
There are other deck building games that are coming out that I don't know. Okay, the deck building ones I want to play are you have a map where you can change your position, have placements.
Roguebook actually
a mini chessboard.
Roguebook launched a couple of days ago. The previous Steam Demo Festival game I played. So. Check out Roguebook. Right. Check out if you've played Slay the Spire. If you haven't played Slay the Spire, what the hell are you doing? Play Slay the Spire. Check out Demon Train, and check out Roguebook. Those are both
Yeah.
really good ones if you're looking for more deck building games to check out. But yeah. Is it Demon Train? Is that the name I'm thinking
Monster
of?
Train, isn't it?
Is it Monster Train?
I thought it was Monster Train.
Yeah, let me just Google it because.
Yeah, it's Monster Train.
Yeah, Monster Train. Sorry, not Demon Train. Monster Train. Next up, we have Loot River. Loot River. I believe I'm showing a different trailer because it shows more gameplay.
So what's it called?
Loot River. It's on there.
Okay.
If you want to watch that one, it's to be announced Xbox and Windows. It's an action roguelite. I just thought the idea was really cool. Where basically you're like fighting all these shadows, but then at some point you get onto like these like raft platforms, and then you move them around in order to change the combat sort of thing on the fly. If you watch the trailer, it'll make sense, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the part they do that.
Mm.
So you're
like the light fighting these shadows.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can like change how you fight the enemies based on like moving platforms. And like I don't want to. There's too many enemies, so I'll take a couple of enemies onto this platform, and then I'll move the platform away, sort of thing. I just thought the gameplay looked really interesting, especially when you have like
lots of enemies,
a
and, like,
bunch
you
of
have to split
platforms,
it
sort
up.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Again, I think the art style is pretty cool as well. Very interesting to see.
I've
But
been
yeah.
more enthused with stuff with the Guerrilla Collective than anything else at the moment.
We haven't got we haven't got to we haven't got to Gearbox yet. Tony, you're gonna be regretting your statement. You're gonna be regretting your statements after that one, buddy. Squeenix is coming up later, mate. You want Ubisoft? We haven't had Ubisoft yet.
Yeah. I knew there's a reason why I skipped those ones.
Slime Heroes 2023 action adventure RPG. I just thought this one looked cute and it looked pretty fun from what I saw. Looks like you play a couple of slimes and then you go around fighting stuff. I just thought it looked pretty fun. It's just another little silly game. It says exclusive on here. Exclusive to Windows, it says. So, I don't know. Demon Turf, we've seen this one before. But I just wanted to show it again because I think this game looks absolutely amazing. It's my sort of game where it's like I love the hand-drawn 2D art mixed with the 3D backgrounds. It just reminds me of like a sort of like Hat in Time sort of game mixed with like 2D sprites. It looks like pretty cool. So I thought I'd mention that one.
Not for me.
But they were just like announcing it was coming to PS5 as well.
Yeah.
Severed Steel. Severed Steel. I have played the demo for this, so I will talk about the gameplay of this when we do Tangerine Steam Demo Festival Summer Edition. But this game is really fucking fun. I really like this game. So it's basically, I'll just give you a quick synopsis. I would say basically it kind of combines Super Hot and what was the other one I was thinking of? I have some notes. Maybe I should try and find my notes.
It's not like Ghost Runner, is it?
Severed Steel. Ghost Runner. So you just watch the trailer and you're like, yeah, it's kind of like Ghost Runner mixed with Super Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote down for this. So it's a really cool game. I've played it myself, and yeah, definitely check this one out because this one is really cool. Next up, we have a Raji Enhanced Edition. So I guess I didn't really find any information about this, of what the Enhanced Edition was going to be, but I assume it's the PS5, Xbox One, or Xbox X upgrade is the Enhanced Edition, but I couldn't find if they were going to add more content to the PC version as well, so I thought I'd put this one in here. I just thought this was interesting to talk about because we've done a spotlight on this game, and you own Raji, so
yeah. I'm scared to play it though, but it's actually on my shortlist at this point. So.
And it's always great to see like video games based on other cultures your own, like based on like the
it's always interesting.
The Asian like gods and that sort of stuff you don't normally get to see. And it's also it's an Indian based developer, and of course I think because we've seen like a big rise of like the Chinese developers and the Japanese developers, of like the Asian developers, but I feel like
India's starting
with
to
yeah,
rise.
with how like technologically advanced India's starting to
Yeah,
get, I feel
yeah.
like we're going to see like a big rise of like Indian developers, which is going to be
I
really cool
think,
to see.
yeah, this decade I think is going to be the rise of Indian tech and Indian like I guess software and tech and stuff.
India's the new China. That's
To a certain extent, yeah, and they're kind of rivaling China as well. So we're gonna get demonetized if we think about China too much on YouTube, I
Robodunk
think.
to be announced. Looks like a fun little robotic basketball game. Could be fun to play with friends. So yeah, check that one out if you're
I like
looking
little
for a new.
robots.
See
Oh,
if
yeah, the skills. Hang on.
yeah, check this one out if you're looking for a new game to play with friends, 1 to 4 players. And then Kitsune Tales. Literally, I saw this and I was like, this looks like this completely reminds me of playing Wario on
Yeah,
my Game Boy, and I was like, what? Like, I love
it's a
Wario.
furry game.
I guess, but isn't Mario a furry game when you think about it?
Is it?
And almost every Mario game, he's dressing up in fursuits, Tony.
Oh no! All
Lit-
this whole time.
Mario, I think it's either Mario 2 or Mario 3. He has the Tanaki suit where he dresses up as he becomes like a flying squirrel.
Right.
He has the cat suit in the Bowser's Revenge game. What's that one called? Super Mario 3D World. Mario's a furry dude. I hate to break it to you, but Mario's a goddamn
I'm gonna have
furry
to
already.
veto.
Yeah.
That's why I'm Waluigi main.
Okay, next time, Tony, we have Wholesome Direct. We got 3 games from this one that I picked out. Again, Wholesome Direct was a lot of like just relaxing narrative-based games mostly, or just stuff like that. So not a lot of like crazy stuff to talk about. But we have a game called
Yeah.
Garden Story. Garden Story is another one of these kind of like Stardew Valley sort of looking games. I just thought I liked the art style, and I
So
thought,
what was it called? I
oh,
wasn't paying
sorry. It's
attention.
called Garden Story. Obviously, you hear
Oh
Garden
yeah,
Story and like,
nice.
okay, maybe this might be like a farming simulator game sort of thing.
Yeah.
The huge announcement from Wholesome Direct. Passepartout 2, Tony. We're getting a sequel to
Did
Passepartout, the artist simulator. I love this game. So
did we actually see anything on it, or just like that weird like an intro?
I think they only showed like a George's art auction. Fuck it, I love George. He's one of my best customers in Passepartout. So it seems like
But what's
but
different?
based on all I know, it seems like probably graphics enhanced. But basically, famous art in Missing for Days. It seems like you're playing as the son of the artist in
Yeah.
Passepartout 1. A sequel poggers. Spelt with in non-capitals, Andy. Like a fucking normie. Right. I don't think I have poggers enabled on this channel even. Let's have a look. You can type is there any pong emotes? My caps lock is broken. Okay.
About your shift lock.
But anyway, Passepartout 2. We don't know anything about it really, but again, you can sign up for the beta. Passepartout game. Passepartout 2. I'll just do a quick Google and see if I can find anything about it, to be honest with you. Because it's such a, like a. I feel like it's sort of a small indie game. Like, I don't know many people who know about
Yeah.
Passepartout. But it's a really fun game, and especially like when I played it on like my drawing tablet, I found it really fun.
When
Um,
you had an implement to actually be able to draw.
yeah. Well, you can still draw it just like MS Paint sort of thing. It's still like
Yeah.
you don't need a drawing tablet to play it. It's just an interesting way to play it. And then finally we have a game called Loddlenaut, and I fucking love the look of Loddlenaut.
What's it called? Sorry.
Loddlenaut. It's one of the last
Oh,
games on the
Loddle. Oh, okay,
conference,
right.
and
Yeah.
basically it's kind of like Viscera Subnautica detail, where you basically have to go
Okay.
you have to go underwater and clean up all of
Clean
the
up the
junk
trash.
that's been dumped in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then you use that junk to build machines to help you clear away more trash. So it's almost got like the little Satisfactory vibe to it as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
has a little bit more to it than Visceral Cleanup. I quite like that actually.
Mm. So it's like it's a nice like Komodo hype. Yeah, it's it's a
What
nice
the hell is
like
a Lotto though?
they're axol. I swear now that Minecraft's done axolotls, I'm seeing like axolotls in everything.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea what an axolotl was until
Oh, really? You didn't
Minecraft.
know? Oh, okay. I
I'd
didn't
never
realize
heard
that.
of one, and now I'm like I see axolotls everywhere. So
Right. Your eyes have been opened by Jeb.
all right, Tony, get a big timestamp ready. We're going to Ubisoft, the big one we were all
You
waiting
want a big
for.
time, not one of those
Yes.
normal timestamps. You want one of those
Yeah,
big
I want
ones,
one of the big
right? Right.
ones. So this is another crossover quickly. Brawlhalla, it was bought up by Ubisoft a few years ago, the free-to-play like 2D fighting game. They had like the Rayman crossover. The next crossover is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming to Brawlhalla. So, because we also saw
Oh.
the crossover of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Smite. It seems like the same sort of games, just have a lot of like crossovers. It seems like Smite has a lot of crossovers. Dead by Daylight has a lot of crossovers. Brawlhalla has a lot of crossovers. Like there seems to be like a few games that have like lots of like franchised
Yeah.
crossovers in them.
They're normally fighting games.
Hmm. Next up, we have Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline. So this is going July 6th, 2021, and basically, what they're doing is they're adding Aiden, the character from the first Watch Dog games. He is being added as DLC to Watch Dogs Legion. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, hey guys, remember the first Watch Dogs games? We're going to add it to the new Watch Dog 1. And there's going to be like stuff based around that. So I thought that's very Ubisoft to just recycle
Yeah,
games back into this one.
I don't know. I kind of Watch Dogs to me is kind of what I don't know. I don't.
I've never played Watch Dogs game, but I don't know. I think there's parts of Legion I'm kind of interested in. There's parts of 2 I'm kind of interested in. And there's parts of
Yeah,
1 I'm kind of interested in, but never enough to
yeah,
make me
but
want to
it's
play the
not.
whole game.
Yeah, I would argue it's not a good game though. Like, I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, it just kind of annoys me because I feel like it was almost such like it's almost like almost a brilliant idea. I
Yeah.
think because like the idea of adding more interactivity to like an open world is like it's obviously like a great thing to do. Like more interesting. I don't know what's the word like what's the word where like things serendipitous gameplay I guess. It's like
Mm.
things just happen because like you've done one thing and then it kind of just happens. Like, but it's not executed very well. The story is not very good, and
Tony.
I don't care about the characters or the
Just
quests.
Dance 2022. Me and you had a side bet on this one. I said to you, do you think this game will be on the Wii? Because like the Wii just keeps surviving because of Just Dance games coming out, and
Yeah.
so many people play Just Dance on the Wii. And I said, I think this game will be on the Wii, and you said no, and you were right. It's not coming to the Wii. Shocker. Just Dance
Well,
will
I
be
thought
only
they
on the Switch for
closed.
Nintendo fans.
I thought they closed the Wii shop quite not recently, but like kind of
I
properly.
think you could still like buy physical copies of games though, which a lot of people still do when it comes to these sort of
I
games.
guess, but I feel like once they've closed the online shop, it's then eventually the physical stuff will
Hmm.
stop. It will be hard to like get codes for as well.
Rainbow Six Siege Extraction. That's coming September 16th, 2021. So it seems like they're doing more of the zombies mode. I've actually played the zombies mode for Rainbow Six Siege, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I like this is some like I'm not a fan of Rainbow Six Siege. Like I've never been a fan of like slow paced
Zombies still look really
tactical
cool in this
shooters where it's
actually.
mostly just pixel peeking around corners and then shooting someone in the head and killing them immediately. I'm just not a big fan of Rainbow Six Siege gameplay, but like the actual like the zombie stuff they've been doing is actually pretty interesting. So I'm pretty hyped to play this. Next up, we have Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. They're coming 2022 to the Switch. Seems like the
Uh,
first XCOM Rabbids game was such a success. They're going to make a sequel to it. So yeah, and it
I mean,
seems
it's a
like
cool looking world, so
I actually played like a small amount of the first game on like a friend's Switch, and like I was like, it's pretty decent. Like it's not my sort of game really, but it's like not a bad game. And it seems like the first game was very much heavy grid based, and it seems like this game's gonna be more like more open world, and then the actual battles
Yeah.
are going to be more like off the grid sort of thing. There's going to be no grid, and you can kind of just move around anywhere you want to go, sort of thing. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it's more like a JRPG.
Because the overworld in the first game was more like a level select on like a platformer game where you would just like
Yeah.
on an old school platformer game where you just go like level 1, level 2. It was more like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then oh, they showed off on the Far Cry 6 season pass. You also get you can play as Vaz and like other people like from the previous Far Cry games. But they didn't show off if they were going to be in like their own game or that you're going to be able to play them in Far Cry 6. It seems like there's some weird trippy stuff going on where you play as like these characters. It might even be like its own like small standalone game. I don't know. We didn't really get much information about it, but I think like
also including Far Cry Blood Dragon. What? Okay.
Sure. So yeah, I think they did this on the previous like Far Cry Battle Pass where they just gave you a lot of the on the Battle Pass. They gave you the previous games like the definitive editions if you didn't have them for like the consoles.
Yeah.
But this one they're giving you Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon Classic Edition. They're not even giving you like the definitive edition. So that's pretty interesting why they're doing that. Because people saw like the pop-up is like Blood Dragon and people are like, yes, they're making a sequel to Blood Dragon. That was a really cool Far Cry experience. No, you get it on the Battle Pass of Far Cry 6.
The real style of all this cyberpunk stuff.
But hopefully, like having like all these ghost and trippy stuff from the previous. I hope like they actually make like a full like game level experience where you get to play like a bunch of trippy stuff with the previous characters from the previous bad guys from the Far Cry game. Because I feel like Vaz is such a recognizable character and like it'd be cool to play as him.
Creative new quests instead of just open world map unlock quests.
So you remember that Avatar game?
No.
You remember Ubisoft's been trying to make an Avatar game, like announced it like in 2017. Apparently it's been in the works for fucking like 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
They finally actually announced the game.
Okay.
Holy shit!
Like, what's it called? What was like I can't Good and Evil. What's it called?
Good and Evil 2. They didn't show anything about that.
They probably announced that like a couple of years ago as well.
They showed that off ages ago, and we haven't really heard. We didn't hear anything about it. Nope.
No.
So Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It's the first look trailer. Of course, we don't have any gameplay. I have no idea how far this is in development, but
creatures look pretty cool.
It looks.
I love it.
The art looks good. Yeah.
CGI.
Obviously, we're gonna wait until like we actually see gameplay of this, or like
this looks in engine to me. I might be just like being way too optimistic, but it looks more in engine than CGI.
But I feel like forever people have been like, Ubisoft is making an Avatar game, and it's like, yeah, you're kind of like 10 years too late for the hype of Avatar. So
maybe, but I'm so interested in the look of the world, so I'm still kind of excited for this. But I'm more concerned with how the actual gameplay goes more than like the looks of it, because Ubisoft can do looks but not gameplay. Next
up, Tony, we have the Gearbox conference, and I can't believe
you want a big timestamp for this.
Yeah, I can't believe Twitch allowed Gearbox to show unedited footage of Randy Pitchford jerking off for an hour. The Gearbox conference was probably the worst E3 conference I've ever seen in my entire life. They had absolutely nothing to show. The entire conference was Randy Pitchford walking around the set of the Borderlands movie and just showing absolutely nothing. He was just going around talking to people. It was some of the most jank fucking worthless shit I've ever seen. It was so fucking pointless. If there was a Razzie for the E3 conference, the worst conference award goes to Gearbox by far. It was absolute trash. There was absolutely nothing. Okay, there's the timestamp rant over. Let's go into a good conference. Devolver Digital Direct.
Well, I just want to quickly say though, they didn't show anything about it, but Homeworld 3, I'm excited for.
Okay. So Devolver Digital Direct. We got more gameplay from Shadow Warrior 3. I feel like they've shown like 50 trailers for Shadow Warrior 3 at this point.
Yeah.
When is it coming out? It just says 2021. We still don't really know when it's
I assume
coming out.
it's. I thought someone announced it like October time. Did they
Look,
retract that, or am I imagining that?
I loved Shadow Warrior 1. I didn't like how they watered down Shadow Warrior 2 to add like all of the co-op gameplay, like multiplayer
Yeah,
ARPG stuff. If it's like
more
Shadow
co-op,
Warrior 1 or if it's
but with
any
co-op.
or if it's no, I don't want co-op. I'd rather just play a
I
single player
want
game.
co-op.
Right, but you haven't played the Shadow Warrior game, so
That's fine, but I still want co-op.
okay. But I would rather they made a good single player game than a bad
Yeah, that's fair.
multiplayer
But I feel
game
like you
because
don't
that's
have
what
to ruin the single player experience for it.
right. But they did with Shadow Warrior 2, which is why
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
saying
said
it.
we don't have to though. So I'm gonna say I would like co-op.
Okay, I'm gonna say if it's anything like because it seems like it's probably going to be more like the Doom games. If it's anything like the new Doom
Mm.
games, excellent, cool. I like the new Doom games. I like Shadow Warrior 1. If it's anything like those games, cool. If not, it might just be a
I feel
disappointment. We'll
like
have
there's
to
less
see.
emphasis on sword in this one than the first one.
Um, what was I going to say? Oh, so the Devolver Digital Direct this time, I would recommend watching the whole conference on YouTube. They're always really funny and cool. The
Yeah.
the thing they did this year was they're making fun of game subscription services. They were like, you can
Mm-hmm.
subscribe to watch all of these games. You can subscribe to buy all of these games, sort of thing. Next up, we have Trek to Yomi coming out in 2022. I remember I was watching this with some friends, and as this popped up, I was like, "Oh, this looks like Shadow Warrior." Like I was just watching this trailer, and I was like, "Oh, it almost looks just like Shadow Warrior." And then I was like, I checked the developer. The developer is Flying Wild Hog, the developer of Shadow Warrior. So it's like, oh, it makes
Alright.
perfect sense why like I immediately saw this and went, yeah, it's a Shadow Warrior thing. But no, this is like it's called Trek to Yomi, and it's like a pretty interesting like sword 2D sword combat game. I love the art style sort of thing. I think it looks really sick. I generally like feudal Japan is like one of my favorite like art styles in all of like gaming.
Yeah, it's a really
So
cool setting.
I'll definitely be interested to check this one out. So yeah, this one looks really cool. I'm gonna check that one out. Next up, we have Wizard with a Gun coming in 2022, multiplayer survival sandbox adventure. Basically, this looks like Don't Starve, but with wizards with guns. Is the best way I could describe it.
Wizards with guns?
Yep.
The art style, that's really cool.
Let's skip ahead to the gameplay if we can. But if you skip ahead to the gameplay, you'll see what I'm talking about when it's like, this is Don't
Yeah.
Starve, but with wizards with guns. Like immediately, that is what just comes to head when I see this. But it looks really fun, so I would definitely be
I like the
interested to play
interesting
it.
enemies and things as well. That's really cool.
Mm. Next up, we got another trailer for Death's Door, July 20, 2021. Death's Door is like a really interesting looking like platformer sort of action adventure sort of platformy game.
Oh, it's this one. Yes, yes. Yeah,
Um,
I'm looking forward to this one actually.
yeah, it's like the black and white bird game where
Yeah,
you go. I don't think it's like platforming. Maybe I misspoke. It's more like action adventure sort of thing,
yeah.
but it's more like about like precise
Isometric
attacks and timing and stuff.
slashing, right?
There might be some like puzzle solving.
I
I
like.
don't know if
Okay,
there'll
hang
be
on.
any like
I
platforming
didn't. I've
puzzles.
not realized this before, but I don't know why this trailer is why I've realized this on. But the Xbox Series icons are fucking dumb.
Right.
Like you got Xbox One and then Xbox Series X slash S.
The
It's
the
like, yeah, you got
naming
a
the
terrible
naming
naming
for them is
scheme.
terrible. Yeah, that's for sure.
And everyone else is like PlayStation 5, Steam, Epic, and then Xbox is like, nah, fuck it, we want more words.
And we got an exclusive trailer for Inscription by Daniel Mullins. Um,
Exclusive.
so from the creators of Pony Island and the Hex, of course I played Pony Island. It's a fantastic game. Haven't played the Hex yet, but I have it, and I can't wait to play a card-based game. It's a card-based game that's also like a horror game. That's gonna be really
So it's
interesting to
like
play.
what's the one where like oh, I don't know how you describe it. Like it was like you're like you're on the other side, it's on a table and like you're playing against like a seer.
What?
What's that game
Are you talking about
called?
Hand of Fate?
Maybe
I'll look up Hand of Fate and see if that's what you're
because it
talking
kind of
about.
has like a similar play in a similar way,
Okay.
right?
But yeah, apparently this said there was going to be a Steam Next Fest demo for this, and I looked it up, and there wasn't one you could just download. You had to request access to like the beta
Right.
for this, and I tried to get in, but I didn't hear back about getting access to it. So I guess like some. We'll talk about this in the Tangerine for the Steam Demo Fest. That's the next thing coming up on the podcast. But yeah, some of the games that were advertised as being in the Steam Next Fest weren't actually there.
Well,
So
some games that said like add this on the wish list wasn't on Steam.
yeah.
So
Next up, we have Upload VR. If you want to go to the next timestamp. So the first one we have up is Waltz of the Wizard Natural Magic. This is coming July 6th, 2021. I've played Waltz of the Wizard. It's a fantastic VR experience, and it seems like... Because when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, oh, they are making a new Waltz of the Wizard game. But no, actually, this is basically a massive update to the Waltz of the Wizard, like the full game on Steam. I think it's called...
right, nice. So I still this is one of the games I still actually really want to play.
It's
I've
called
only ever
Waltz of the
seen
Wizard Extended
You
Edition.
play the scary part.
Yeah, the scary part. It's a secret horror game, guys. Waltz of the
Yeah.
Wizard. Don't be fooled. Um,
I love
yeah.
the music, by the way, like the whimsical, mysterious.
Because like I think the game's quite cheap. I think it's like £7 Steam, and I was like, oh well, when the next Steam sale.
Hang on, there's a
Guys,
giant in the background. What? Okay.
yeah, I told you it's a secret horror game. Dude.
It really
There's some
is a
scary
secret
stuff
horror
in
game.
it. But I think like when the Waltz of the Wizard extended edition comes out, I'm gonna get it. When it like
I'm gonna get it.
well, the Steam sale's coming out in a week, so I think I'm gonna pick up in the
Yes.
sale. And
I might as well. I don't even know in VR.
yeah, you're just gonna buy. And Andy, have you ever typed Twitch emotes before? Jesus Christ!
What's he doing? I can't see it.
He's typed Poggers wrong, and he's typed Monka S wrong. It's lowercase Monka, capital S.
Is he doing it on purpose?
No, I think he's just a fuck. He sends me memes from r/memes and like yeah, he's a fucking normie. I swear to God, Andy, he would send me Facebook memes if he used Facebook. Yeah, there he goes.
I think he's just trolling.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
So there's like some sort of like Walking Death to sort of equivalent.
Yeah, it's a big update.
I really like the look of this game.
Looks really good.
really
Against. This is basically, like, as I said, trends in different genres of games. The trend in VR right now is either making a single-player FPS campaign game like Half-Life Alyx or make a Beat Saber game. And this is coming out Q3 2021. This is Against. And basically, it's like a rhythm game, but instead of hitting blocks, you have like a sword and stuff, and you hit you slash up enemies to the beat. And you have like guns, and you shoot people. I've played the demo for this. I've played the VR demo for this, and I can confirm the game is really fucking fun.
It looks really cool.
It's legit. Like, it's not just like a Beat Saber clone. It's actually like a legit game. So definitely check this one out when it releases, because I'm definitely going to be. I've got this on the wish list now, so I'll definitely be checking this one out once it releases. I really enjoyed playing this one.
Yeah.
One thing I'll mention though, in the trailer they have this art style, but in the demo it's like a completely different art style, where it's like black and white sort of thing. But I'll talk about.
Do you think different levels have different art styles, or do you think they're just like?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just like changed the art style.
Yeah, like changed in development or something.
Andy says, "I'm not getting old, Kappa. I know all the recent emotes, Kappa." Okay.
Are those even recent that you misspelled?
Right. Yeah. Next up, Sam and Max. This time it's virtual. I've never played a Sam and Max game because I don't like point and click games. But I think like a Sam and Max game makes perfect sense for VR. Like the idea of like an escape room sort of game or like an adventure game makes perfect sense, sort of thing. And I really wanted to play the Steam Fest VR demo they promised was going to be there again. Seems like it was pulled from the event without any announcement, which is kind of annoying. But basically, for the trailer from Upload VR, they show basically the tutorial level. So it's like shows off a very easy level, and it looks like just a straight up escape room VR game. But this is just the tutorial level, so we don't get to see the full
This is
thing.
like a is like how to prove you're worthy of the team, right?
Sorry?
Is this trying to? Okay,
It's just it's
okay.
just trying to teach you basic gameplay mechanics, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the full game was obviously going to be a lot bigger. We've seen more stuff in the trailer of like what the full game's going to be. So I'm very interested to play like the Sam and Max VR game. It looks really cool. Next up, we have a Pistol Whip update. Pistol Whip's another like actual legit Beat Saber game. I haven't played it yet. It's made by Cloudhead Games, who, if you don't know, they do like I think they did Call of Starseed, which I have played. It's a cool game. And they made the Aperture Hands demo for the Index.
Okay, right.
Yep. They did the Gallery game, I believe. Let me look it up. Yep, they did the Gallery.
Yeah.
I've played the first Gallery game, and it's a pretty cool game. And I'm going to play the second game when that goes on sale. So, if you don't remember, we talked about how like the Pistol Whip was getting different styles. So it was you saw like the trailer for the Western style, where you had like the Western shooters and like the background be like a Western thing. They're showing off like a bunch more styles you can have. So you can have different modifiers that alter the game mechanics, and then you can like change the skill on the game, and then you can also have like choose a style. So you can have like a cyberpunk style gun, or you can have like a Western style gun, or whatever like sort of thing. And that's going to be pretty cool to see when that comes out. Next up, we have I Expect You to Die 2. You know how much I fucking love being a spy in VR. I love I Expect You to Die 1. I love the other spy game, Budget Cuts. I'm currently started playing Budget Cuts 2, and I have played the demo for I Expect You to Die 2, so I'm ready for the sequels. And the demo is really fucking good as well. More of the same from Budget Cut 1, so really good to see, because their first game's amazing. So definitely check out the demo if you have a VR system. Sweet Surrender, I played this one. The demo wasn't good. It looked like the trailer looked good, but they need to do some work on the demo. I couldn't really get it to work that well. I tried everything to get it to work. From the demo I played, obviously, it's an early access look at the game, so if it has technical issues, the full game may not have those issues. But from what I played, it was alright. It was sort of just like the cel-shaded graphics, and you just walk around shooting like aliens in like a sort of arcadey style combat, I would say. So yeah, that one looked good. That one's coming out Q4 this year. We got more information about Green Hell VR.
Okay.
Basically, what they announced was there's a separate development team now that's only working on Green Hell VR. So it's not going to take stuff away from the main game. So it's being made by Incuvo VR.
Right.
And if you don't know Incuvo VR, they are working on the Blair Witch VR game and the Layer of Fear VR game. I don't know if those games are already out, but that's like their resume at the moment, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the VR version does look really cool from what I've seen. I'm a big fan of Green Hell. I'm a big fan of games like The Forest, and seeing like it's got its own VR version. I still don't know if this is... The big questions I have for this is it a separate version of the game? And will there be multiplayer for it? And if there's multiplayer for it, will it have cross-play with the PC version? That's going to be huge for me, because I'm probably going to be playing this with people who are not playing in VR. So hopefully we find out more about this. It says the PC VR version of this is aiming for a Q3 2021 release. I can't wait to get killed by a fucking jaguar in VR, or like a fucking leopard in VR. So I feel like every time I play Green Hell, it's like, oh, there's a frog over here. Oh, I'm now poisoned. Oh, I'm now dead. Oh, I walked to the forest. Oh, there's a fucking cheetah over there. Oh, he's just killed me. Okay, next thing to die to.
You're not saying Jaguar like an American. What's going on?
Oh, what's the American one? Jag.
They say Jaguar.
Jaguar. That's so weird.
Yeah, they can't. Okay, so they can say this. Okay, now they say YouTube, but they can't say like the U sound in between other letters. They can't do it with Jaguar either. So they just say Jaguar. Like, I don't really
Next up,
understand
we
how
have
they
After the
reuse.
Fall by Vertigo Games coming next month to all of the major platforms. If you don't know, After the Fall is, I believe it's the one. It might be the one made by what are they called? Uh, Arizona Sunshine. Is it the same people who did Arizona Sunshine? Let me just double check this for you. Is it After the Fall? Is it made by the same people? It says from the creators of Arizona Sunshine when I Google it. Right. If I type in Arizona Sunshine, I believe they have a different developer. No, no, same developer. Okay. Yeah. So it's from the developers of Arizona Sunshine, and from what I've played so far of Arizona Sunshine, it's a pretty cool game. So I'm excited to play another game by those guys. So that'll be cool to play. And then we're getting a Demio update called Realm of the Rat King. I believe it's like a DLC. It may even be. I don't know if it's like paid DLC. It might be just like an update, but I think it's like a DLC level update. You might have to buy it. I'm not sure. If you don't know, Demio is basically like Dungeons and Dragons in VR sort of thing. I know my friend
Oh,
Martin
yeah,
has
this is
played
pretty
this a lot.
cool. Okay,
Um,
yeah.
Basically, you're like from looking from above, like a Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing, and then you like move units around, and basically they just showed off like a small little teaser trailer for the Realm of the Rat King DLC.
Yeah.
Right. See what we got next. Next up, we have Xbox Bethesda. This was the big conference. I'll just say now, from someone who watched all of the conferences, I think, as I say pretty much every year, Xbox or Microsoft
I
won
I
again.
I really like Guerrilla Collective, so
Right. But I just don't think they showed anything like on the level of like what Microsoft, or even like had as many games I was interested in as Microsoft.
no, I'd
Bethesda.
say Guerrilla Collective did way more.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Looking through all of this stuff, there's more
So
in detail
first
than
up
than
we have
Xbox.
Starfield coming November 11th, 2022. I'm just going to quote Todd Howard here on Starfield. It's like Skyrim in space.
Yeah, that's what we want.
So
That's the one.
I'm directly quoting Todd Howard here, and of course they officially announced in the trailer and on Twitter this will be the first game made in Creation Engine 2. Bethesda's been using the fucking Creation Engine from like what is it, Fallout 76 all the way back to
20,
like
2014, I believe, is when it was first actually used. I think it's been made in 2012, I
what did
think,
What did
2013.
Skyrim run on? Was that Creation
Uh,
Engine? Because that was
no.
2011, wasn't it?
So the new Skyrim Special Edition is the new engine.
Right. What does the original
Um, so
Skyrim run on
so I
then?
think Fallout 4 is the first one with the engine that we saw.
Really? I thought like Fallout 3 and stuff was running on the Creation Engine.
I think that's an older form of the creation engine. Like it's not. It's like
Well,
a
yeah,
different form.
I mean like just the general as a whole, not like specific parts of the Creation Engine. When was the Creation Engine first put into a game?
Yeah, yeah. Again, it depends what you mean by like. Would you like? Are you talking about the one? Because I'm pretty sure. I swear it was called something different for like Fallout 3 and New Vegas and Skyrim.
But I think they were all like inside the Creation Engine sort of thing.
Okay.
I think the Skyrim was the first game to use the Creation Engine, and then I think they used it for like Fallout 4, Fallout 76, all of those games,
Right.
sort of thing. Right.
So what would you call the? Is that just an upgraded engine for like 4 and onwards?
It's just like like with Unreal Engine, they do like with Unreal Engine
Yeah.
4. Sometimes they do like so they'll do like updates to Unreal Engine 4. So you have Unreal Engine 4.1, and you might update it to Unreal Engine 4.5 or something like that. That's what I would. It's that sort of update. Whereas going from Creation Engine 1 to Creation Engine 2 would be more like going from Source 1 to
Yeah.
Source
Oh,
2,
okay.
or
Right. Okay.
going
Okay.
yeah.
So they're calling. Okay. So there's the creation engine, then there's the Fallout 4 compatible creation kit for creation engine.
Right.
So it's just like it's like an upgraded form of the original creation engine. So yeah, it's
So,
like creation engine 1.5 is like the 2014 one.
so they showed this cinematic trailer and basically showed absolutely nothing about the game. We have no idea what the gameplay
Yeah.
like or what even the game's going to look like. Really, from the cinematic trailer, I thought it looked kind of like Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, just from the cinematic trailer. That was kind of the
Yeah, I think
style that I
that's
thought it
kind
looked
of fair.
like, just based on the
What?
ships
Okay,
and
I have a
stuff.
question. Why are people why are people like so hyped about it? Is kind of my question.
People love Bethesda games, like, and the idea of playing a Bethesda game in like a fully open space, like, it's a
I
pretty
just
cool
don't trust
prospect.
Bethesda anymore, though. I just feel like
That's fair. That is fair.
I'm way more excited for the Outer Worlds 2 that showed even less off
Hmm.
than that.
Let's move on. Next up, we have Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. This is coming April 28th, 2022. I've never played a Stalker game, but I've always been interested in playing it. It was always like Stalker and Metro were like the kind of post apocalyptic sort
Yeah,
of like. I don't think they're like both post apocalyptic. I think Stalker's more like radioactive sort of thing. Um,
right,
just
right.
going into Chernobyl sort of thing rather than the entire world is like apocalypse, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But they like Metro and Stalker were kind of like the Eastern European like sort of games that I never played. Like I know they have like massive fucking Russian fan bases sort of thing.
yeah, they do.
Um,
That they're back into the
and even
like
this trailer, they
the
show like
ethos.
the voices are dubbed in Russian sort of thing, so they like know their audience sort of thing. But
Yeah,
hopefully, like a lot of the game's been dubbed into English quite well. If it is like Russian first, I don't know. Um, because I don't think I would want to play a game that's like Russian dubbed with English subtitles. If it is, I don't
oh,
know.
okay. I don't mind that. I don't have a
Really?
problem with
Okay.
reading English subtitles.
For the whole game, though, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I don't have a
Okay.
problem with that.
Right. Have you played any other game that's dubbed in an entirely different language and then has English subtitles?
I'm trying to think of what I think
Because I can't say
there's
I
one that
ever
wasn't.
have.
Yeah, I've done like it's a weird one where it's like not a real language, like they pretend like it's like an alien sounding, so everything's in subtitles. That's
Right.
really the only thing I've done it with.
But I feel like that would really annoy me.
Okay.
But the generally the gameplay and the graphics look amazing. Like I love how this looks. So like I've never really
Okay.
played a Stalker game, but I would be like interested to play this one or get more into the series sort of thing based on this trailer. So yeah, pretty cool to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I know. I feel like I'm more of a Metro kind of person over a Stalker game, but like I don't want to play the original Stalker, but I think I was gonna play a Stalker game. It'd be one of the newer ones.
Next up we have Sea of Thieves: A Pirate Tale. This came out of nowhere for me, and I'm so hyped for this.
Yeah,
June
this is really
22nd,
cool.
2021. So literally next week, I'm going to be playing Pirates of the Caribbean and Sea of Thieves, dude. I'm so fucking
Yeah,
hyped. I can't believe this. I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, new Sea of Thieves content. This is fucking cool. And then fucking immediately they're just like, they show like, I was like, oh, cool, you get to like go diving and see like gold and captain stuff. There's a
yeah.
new tall tale coming. And then they're like, fucking Captain Jack Sparrow. I was like, holy shit, they actually did it. They're doing the Disney collab. They're adding Pirates of the Caribbean Sea of Thieves. If you don't know, I have like 100 hours in Sea of Thieves. I fucking love this game. And like the idea of like doing a mission with Captain Jack Sparrow, that's fucking cool. And it's got all like the Pirates of the Caribbean characters. It's got like Barbosa, Davy Jones, um, you know, all of the this guy who gets the bucket of water thrown in him when he's sleeping in the pig shit, the famous character. Do you remember what the old guy who's like Jack's guy who
It's
helps him
been
get the
a
crew?
yeah. I don't remember. It's been a while since
They did show
I've
off
watched it.
some very brief gameplay trailer as well, but it doesn't really show much, and I'm going to be playing it in a week, so I was like, I don't really need to just show this off sort of thing. So, but it seems like you will be able to get like Captain Jack Sparrow cosmetics, which is kind of funny given that when they launched Sea of Thieves, they said we want to like kind of randomize how everyone looks. We don't want everyone because we basically they give you templates to work on, so you have like very like it's a very like rigid character creation screen, so you just basically have templates you build off. It's like, we didn't want everyone to make themselves look like Captain Jack Sparrow, and then now they're adding Captain Jack Sparrow skins to the game, basically like cosmetics. So it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, I'm really hyped for this. This looks really cool. I love Sea of Thieves, so I'm definitely checking this one out. We got another trailer for Psychonauts 2. I had some people say, wait, there's a Psychonauts 2 game coming out. I feel like a lot of people forgot about this one, sort of.
Did they really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So August 25th, 2021. Because it was like Kickstarted for a long time, or Figged for a long time, which we talked about on one of the first podcasts, where Tim Schafer was like on the board of the directors of like the Kickstarter website he's using. It was called like Fig or something.
Yeah.
So this has been like, this has been like Kickstarted since like 5 years ago or something like that. Then, if that was the case. So this,
we don't know when development starts.
Yeah, so this game's like, this game's been like a long time coming, sort of thing. So yeah, it's going to be coming out in like a couple of months, so I'll be interested to see it. I've never played the original Psychonauts. I've had friends tell me it's like one of their favorite games of all time.
I've watched people play on YouTube.
It seems like a game I would enjoy because I love like 3D platformer adventure style games. Yeah. So
it has a lot of nostalgia from that sort of era as well, like in like the gameplay and the game. So
definitely something I want to check out. Looks really cool. Yeah, interested to play Psychonauts 2. Next up, we have recently. I don't know if I've announced this yet, Tony, but I've actually purchased Fallout 76. I'm going to give it a try after all of the updates Fallout 76 has had. I'm going to give it a go and see what Fallout 76 is like. And we've got some updates. So July 7th, 2021, so 2 weeks from now as well, we're getting an update to the Brotherhood of Steel Super Mutant content that was added to Fallout 76. So they added NPCs back to, is it called Appalachia or something, the place where it's set? And basically they added a bunch of like Brotherhood of Steel NPCs, and they added a story with that, and it seems like we're getting the conclusion of the Brotherhood of Steel story inside Fallout 76 with the new Steel Reigns update. Hello, Martin. We'll do like a roundup of... I'm going to do a roundup of all of my favourite trailers from the E3 at the end, Martin, if you want to listen to that.
Right.
So yeah, they have a roadmap, and I think this was already on the roadmap, so people knew this was coming. So
I'm still not enthused with the...
I am going to play Fallout 76 and check this stuff out, so I'm pretty hyped for this.
Yeah. It's not even a sort of game like I want to play like from the...
Yeah, that's fair
from the get-go anyway, but I still think even with that...
And we're getting Fallout 76 Expeditions: The Pit, so they showed up, this is coming 2022, so it's not coming this year. But they showed this trailer, which is basically... people weren't unsure what it was. Some people were like, oh, maybe they're remastering Fallout 3. Because this is... shows off The Pit, which is a DLC for Fallout 3 set in Pittsburgh. But it seems like the idea is there's going to be a game called Expeditions, where basically the game will take you from West Virginia in like a helicopter sort of thing, and then you'll be taken to a small like play area in a new play space. And this is something people have been wanting for a long time. For the longest time, you've been stuck in that one map, and now you're finally, getting to explore and go somewhere else. So this is going to be pretty cool, sort of thing. God, it's been going on so... You think it's almost at the 2-hour mark?
Yeah.
You think we can do a break, and I will just edit it out for the thing? Oh, we'll leave it. Do a timestamp for bathroom breaks. People can go for a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Tony, go. I need
All
to...
right, we're taking a break now, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it in.
I need some royalty-free music to play while we wait.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll get a drink, I think, but
yeah, over Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, can we just get the 12 Biscuits Blue, please? Not quite Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was gonna put Who Likes to Party by Kevin MacLeod on.
Yes.
Fuck it, dude. Alright, grab it. Hello. See if I'm muted on Discord. Ben is still not back. You know music well. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a part 2 because I need to go eat and there's way too much more trailers. So I'll be back after dinner and I'll stitch these together and we'll do a part 2. Okay. I'll see you guys later. We'll be back.
I'm back.
Tony, we'll be back. We're coming back for part 2.
Okay.
Alright, be a bit.